Hello, and let's start with being on the Modules tab. And we're going to go to your first assignment of the week. So this is the first one you're actually turning in. This is about letters with elements of art and principles of design. Please make sure you read over everything I've provided. If you have any questions, let me know. You must let me know if you have any concerns or issues by Thursday. I am not available every day. I'm a full-time graphic designer with my own studio practice, so I am not available to solve problems or issues, especially on the day it is due. This assignment is due Saturday at 9 p.m. It's important to have an understanding what element of art and principle design is, but also how to use it to create design. These terms help us to create dynamic imagery. It also helps us explain why we created something, what was important about it. As a critiquer, these terms are excellent ways of describing what you're seeing. So below are the list of the terms that you're going to be using. Line, color, texture, value is under elements. And then emphasis and dominance, proportion, movement, and repetition is under principles of design. Under requirements, watch this movie, obviously. Also, make sure you submit the project on time, which we have covered. You will need to use the worksheet, which we can see over here, and your solutions will go within the white panels. This grid is built for you so that you can work on a principle and element. There will be a solution of two of the terms using a typographic element. This will only be type, and it will be your initials that you'll use. Please use the font list that I have provided. You can use more than one, only one, but you must use this list. It's up to you how you would like to use them. And here is the exercise worksheet. So when you're ready, you can click on it and open it up. Below here, I also attach some extra videos. So if you're not familiar with the elements of art or principles of design, please watch these videos. Jessica Harper is an artist who likes to explain techniques about art. I found her videos on YouTube, and I really want to express the importance of how you need to look for other resources than sometimes the classroom to continue your education. Even as you get into being a professional, you're going to need to find ways to find information about things that you might need to do on the fly. I mean, there's techniques that I only need to know occasionally, but I know I can go to YouTube immediately, put in what I'm looking for, and find an instructional video about it. So I want you to be comfortable watching videos, because that's what this class is, and also finding your own resources. So my goal is to expose you to a few artists and designers that have videos on YouTube. Below that, PDFs and how to save one. I will go over this in the video. Some people might like to see it written down for them. Because this is important information, we'll go over this again. This assignment is due on Saturday before 9 p.m. You're going to submit a PDF of this worksheet. Remember to save the original file. We will be using this project again in the future. The best way to get an A in this class is to get feedback. And there's two ways to do that. Either submit early on Tuesday and Thursday, or before Saturday, submit to the discussion board so that we can all give you feedback. All right, welcome to the worksheet. Only type, use your initials. Please take your time and try many different variations. This should be not a one and done. You can see that this is a grid where I have elements of art on the top and then principles of design. So this square would be the term line and emphasis and dominance. This one would be also line and proportion, and so on and so on. I'm going to show you some examples from a student, but I really want you to do a better job than what I'm showing. A couple things that we should go over is that make sure you have swatches and color. Also make sure that you have, and if you don't see it, go to Window, Layer. And I just want to show you that this should be locked. This is all that copy that you don't need. It won't be printed. And then this is where you should start. So make sure that you're on the start here. So here are all your artboards. There's 16 different versions you're gonna do. All right, so let's get to these examples. Again, I think you can do a much better job than what I'm showing, but this does help explain visually what I'm looking for. So this is what we have, same kind of grid concept. You're gonna have them printing out as one single sheet that's 10 by 10 instead of one big grid. Please feel free to read over these definitions if you get stuck. First, you can see that they use lines. So line is from one point to another point. All different types of ways to create a line. Horizontal, vertical, diagonal, curved. You can see that happening in all of these. So you have the lines here, you have a diagonal, you got a curved, you got a straight across. Color, we can see color in this one. Texture. So texture is all about how it looks like it feels like something. And it is more challenging when you're using just type, but you can design an image that will create that feeling of a texture. In this one, it looks like there's a lot of attempts to create that woven fabric feeling. This one really gives you that leafy kind of feeling. And the last one is value. So value is from light to darkness. Now, how do you put them together? So you have line and emphasis. So emphasis is to give importance to a certain object in the artwork. Where does your eye go first? Well, obviously it's kind of going right in here. Even more so, this is right in the center. So it's going to draw me to that A. The next one going across is proportion. So that will be the size and scale increase. So this S is larger, and it also has a different color. The X's are larger, and this B is not only a different color, but it's larger. For movement, you can really see in this line that they're showing movement. This one looks like a trail of movement. The next one looks like waves or intertwining of ropes. This one, it looks like a leaf blowing in the wind. And then again, we have this another fan that's also showing value. So line and value are a little too close. So repetition is a planned way to create rhythm. For me, repeat should be really fun. So the repeat line, just repetitive, and then the K's being kind of randomly placed. I think it should be more planned. I think the Z's work better because it feels like a pattern, a rhythm, it has a plan. And then the last one, again, with just the F repeating. I was hoping for a little bit more. Repetition has so much potential. I always think about music and rhythm. Think about this as little miniature posters or pieces of art. How do you create a dynamic image using these two terms within this 10 by 10 square? Utilize the whole square. Think about them as individual pieces. You're going to focus in just one square. Because when you save it out, we're only saving this. We're not going to see the relationship to all the others. It must stand up on its own using these elements. All right, let's talk about how to save. We're going to save the original file, the Illustrator file, and then we're going to make a PDF that you're going to submit. You'll be able to submit this on Canvas. I just filled this up with random colors just so that we had something to see once it got finished. Now I'm going to go to File, Save As, and we're going to change this to Adobe Illustrator. Make sure you put your name on this, and then make sure you save this somewhere that you know where it's located, and then hit Save. So this is an original working file, so you can always go back and make changes. The next one is a stripped down PDF. We're trying to make the size of the file the smallest we possibly can, so we can put it online. So we go to File, and then we go to Save As, so it's exactly the same spot, but we're going to make sure we go to Format and it is on Adobe PDF. We also want to make sure that this says Use Artboards. If it doesn't, there's a problem. So you need to make sure that you go to Save As and that this is highlighted Use Artboards, because we want all of these artboards to be saved as individual pages. Hence why we need all. Let's hit Save. This already exists. That's okay. I'm going to hit Replace. And I'm going to make sure that in general, that I have all my options turned off except for the preview. The more options you have, the larger the file will be, especially if you have the preserved Illustrator editable capability. So it'll hold all the information that you would need to be able to go back to that PDF and make quick changes. But ideally, when you send someone a PDF, you want it stripped down so that people can't make changes. You compress. I just want you to look over that there's this compression. I sometimes use this to make it high res. I also use this to create the image as a low res. And we're going to do low res. Again, continuing to make something that will be a small size to easily transport it through the internet. And then you hit save. So just remember that you do general. You want to take everything off except for the PDF, and then you want to compress. And the rest you don't really need to worry about right now. And then we have the document will pop up automatically if you have Acrobat on your computer and loaded. So I have Acrobat all the way here in my dock ready to go. If you don't have it, if for some reason you didn't download it in Lessons, make sure you go up to the top menu panel on your screen, go back to that icon, open it up, and then within your apps, you want to make sure that you have installed your software that you need for this class. And the Acrobat DC is something that you do need to have installed. So you should preview this to make sure everything is correct. I can't wait to see what you've created. I know you're going to do a lot better than that example. Remember, feedback is really important to establish an A in this class. So post it on the discussion board or submit it for a grade early on Tuesday and Thursday so I can provide you with feedback so you can do an edit so that you can get an A for that Saturday submission. So you can submit this project multiple times until it's your best. Do not send me emails of your work. I do not take late projects via email. And that's it. I can't wait to see it. Again, please take advantage of feedback.